Gone. Just a mere week, Chris. Just a mere week from your watchful eyes and listenful ears. The whole of the news cycle turns into a cornucopia into which one merely need dip a toe in order to find oneself soaked in amusing food for jocular thought. And what, oh Chad, who left us wailing in the cold, what could you possibly be referring to? Well, I'm going to start with the president, the head honcho, the fearless leader, the commander-in-chief himself, Joe Biden. Joe Biden. Yes, the man of the hour who has inexplicably added to the collective talents bestowed upon the office of president, the most coveted of skills, the ability to talk to the dead. God, I hate I was out of here last week. Last Wednesday, Biden did a little more than reach across the aisle. He reached across the mortal divide itself when he called upon dead Indiana Republican lawmaker Jackie Walorski to come up and be recognized. Now, I know that your first reaction, and mine, would be to say something like, holy shit, the president's finally lost the last two marbles he had rolling around in his pea-brain skull. Can we please 25th Amendment this dude and save ourselves the remaining embarrassment and possibly a nuclear war? But I want you to consider two things. First, one, what if he was right? We have neither any confirmation nor proof against the idea that Miss Walorski's ghost was in attendance of the event. And hey, old Joe's tippy toes are so close to the great beyond, he might actually be able to see into it. Maybe all those times he was shaking the hand of someone who wasn't there, maybe there was someone there. Second, and more important, in my opinion, is that if we get rid of this dingbat, we got a worse dingbat waiting in the wings. Joe Biden's got a wicked case of the old-timers floating around in his noggin, but the chick standing behind him with the Nagin-esque baseball bat goes full Riri all on her own. Yes, the vaunted, sainted, feminine icon and MVP of the POC, Kamala Harris, decided the next day that she would make a valiant effort to one-up the president by stating that we have a very important, strong, and enduring alliance with North Korea. She proceeded to make this statement after visiting the demilitarized zone and returning to the part of Korea we actually are welcome in, which is, of course, South Korea. Now, lest you think that we're living in the end times as it might be written by Monty Python, let me make some calm assurances to you about the state of our country in the main and the world at large. It might not sound like much of a hopeful hot take, but it's better than waiting to have your insides painted the bottom of an impact crater. Now, right now, we're seeing about as good an example of mismanaged power as you can get short of true evil anti-genius like Mao or Stalin or even Hitler. The bumbling, stumbling, mumbling head of state with his mind-numbingly stupid VP and administration of monkeys flinging poo don't look great on the world stage. But they're also setting the stage. God willing, they're setting it for something different. The pendulum may well swing back in the opposite direction, and who knows, this time it might produce a character who has the pugnacious tenacity of a Donald Trump combined with the wisdom and the sagacity of a Ronald Reagan. Our nation yearns for, cries out for a spate of relief from the constant effusive insult to our collective intelligence. Come on, folks. We strive day in and day out to lead our lives by example that it may trickle upward into the halls of power. We miss the days of mean tweets, not because of the tweets, because when there were mean tweets, at least the friggin' country made sense. Okay, we miss the mean tweets themselves too. Voting time is a-coming around. The mountain folks, get the bad guys out, get the good guys in, if there are any good guys to be had. And for God's sake, if it turns out Joe Biden can talk to the dead, let's get that man a reality TV show because I want to hear what he has to say.
I don't.
Yeah, you do.
He the picture that you showed whenever you were talking about him, he looks like a skeleton.
Yeah, you do. Come on, man.
I said no. The creepy whispering. I just no.
Come on,
no.
man. I think we can at least say